Welcome back, design students. Let's see if we can finish the modeling of this, although I doubt it. I think this piece is a little more complicated than some of the other ones. So let's continue with this piece. Create a cylinder, move it into place. And I think what I'm going to do with this one is extrude this out. It should be very easy to do. So I'm going to switch to the perspective view, and I'm going to grab these faces. Look around to make sure I didn't select anything I didn't mean to. Then I'm going to get the scale tool, and in the very middle I'm going to hold down shift and scale in. And then I'm going to get the move tool, hold down shift, and move that out. Switch back to my reference, and I got lucky. Look at that, it's almost perfect. And I don't need these faces here, so I'm just going to hit delete. I think I'm going to check my PureRef reference images for a second. Trying to see how big that is. And I think I got it about right. Although it does look like it's not centered. So I'm going to check it in the front view here, and it is indeed not centered. And you can clearly see all the other pieces behind it are pretty well centered. Okay, in the next video we're going to create this thing. Actually, let's just go ahead and do that now. Alright, so I'm going to switch back to my reference image, my side view, and create another cylinder. And I'm zooming way in here to make sure that it is centered. I can center it on this line here, right here. I think I'm going to do this one a little differently. I'm going to move this up here. Move this down here. And then I'm going to get my scale tool and scale the whole thing up a little bit so I'll make sure it's the right diameter. I'm going to switch to the perspective view, and I'm going to delete these faces, and I'll show you why in a minute. So now I can use the edge tool and double click on that edge loop, and then when I go back to my reference image you can see that I clearly have that edge selected. Now if I get my scale tool and hold down shift and scale out in all directions, you can see that I can get that diameter just perfect. And then I can get the move tool, hold down shift, and extrude a new section. And I think that's the way I'm going to do that. Now at the end, what we need to do is scale it in, holding down shift, and just leave it at that for the moment. So let's check our reference images in PureRef. So here's a case where you're going to have to sort of make a decision. I don't think I want that per se there, but I'm going to switch to Maya here, and I'm going to just sort of make an executive decision. I'm going to double click this edge and bring it in some more, not holding down Shift. Then I'm going to get the Move tool and pull that down and scale it in, not holding down Shift again. Then I'm going to scale it in again, holding down Shift, and then I'm going to extrude it back in, holding down Shift. My blade is going to come out of here. I suppose I could get fancy and do something like this. If you need to cap this, a good way to do it is if you have an edge ring selected, you can shift right click and select Merge Collapse Edges, and you can merge edge to center, and it'll just collapse it and weld it all together there. And then the last thing we need to do is bevel all of our corner edges. But I'm going to check for faceting, and it's just faceted all over the place. So I need to fix my edges. So I'm going to select each ring and soften these edges. Some faceting here as well. And bevel all of our edge loops. Okay, there we have it, the basic lightsaber. And I'm going to select everything and hit Smooth Preview, just for fun. And it smooths really nicely and looks really good. Okay, one thing this is missing, of course, is the little control box or switch that runs it, and also the D-ring. Those are required elements, and so we're going to have to make those in the next video. And I'll see you then.